Good morning, guys, and welcome to FYI for your information. We're happy that you've chosen to join us this morning. What are you having for breakfast this morning, and what is the news in your neck of the woods? Welcome to the broadcast. We're privileged that you folks have found it useful to be with us. Another morning, Debbie Collins. Another morning, Jolly Anderson. Another morning, Andrea Percival and Eula Lafferman Rubens. Another day with us. Good to have you folks here. We come for y'all. We don't come. We don't come for ourselves. We come for y'all. We come as one, but we stand as 10,000. My Angelo for you there, folks. A very good Wednesday morning to each and every one of you. It's the morning after, the night before. We're happy that you folks are here with us. What's going down at your end? Edward Brooms and Donna McDonald. Another morning with you, Claire Alexis, Charlie Richmond. We are so privileged. Wills Felix, Eskimo, we're so privileged. I see Chanel Watson, Wilson is here with us, folks. We got a cup of something here. Colleen, Sarah Andrews, good to have you. Edward Brooms and Yolanda Thomas. Marlon, how are you doing this morning? Good to see you folks. Wherever you're joining us from, some of you coming in from Queens, New York, Brooklyn, Canada. Some of you are in the Caribbean. Region 11 generally. Region 11 generally, folks. We're happy that you're here. Petrol and all the other folks we got joining us. We got a lot to get to this morning. We got a lot of stuff to get through, but we're happy that you folks are here with us. We got a lot to get through this morning. Folks, if you're all set, we set as well. We set. Lester Weeks, good to have you, Lester. We got some bloodletting happening in Linden, folks. We got some bloodletting. People blaming, PPP, that is, PPP. What happened? All this money we spend, We didn't see the return. Yeah. That's going to happen in a lot of places because the PPP thought they had some movement. They were going to have some blowout, LG, and then they were going to call a snap election, right? They were hoping to do that, you see, right? But that tricky-haired pony, I don't know how it's going to work out for them. Now, that's pretty much what they did during the course of the last election, 2018. They read the results from the 2018, and then they pulled that no confidence motion, and everything that happened from there. So they're hoping they could use this local government election and get some kind of a bounce out of it. But there's a lot of discontent in the PP camp this morning. A lot of discontent. And we can talk about some of that. We're going to be talking about some of that and some of the other things making the morning papers today. A lot of discontent in the PP camp. Right? Because a lot of people believe and know that things didn't go as it should have. Do you didn't work? Went to Guadeloupe in vain. Some of the guys went to Guadeloupe in vain. The guys are saying you got more money to give away now. More money to give away. What is the weather like where you folks are joining us from? What is the weather like? Marlin and all the other folks are joining us up north. Are coming up north soon. Coming up north. Folks, I'm looking forward to summer for some rest and relaxation. I am looking forward to summer. I'm going to be here with you still, but we're going to take some time during summer. Maybe we aren't going to be here for 3 programs per day during summer. Take some time off to just rest and, kind of reinvigorate again. It's 29 degrees outside where we are, folks. The national capital city of Georgia. 29 degrees outside. They said it feels like 34, and there's a 23% chance it's going to rain. So walk with your umbrella, walk with your raincoats. 23% chance it's going to rain out there. 29 degrees outside, feeling like 34. It's feeling a little warm indeed. But we're happy that you folks are here with us. You good folks are here with we. Volmay Wilson, we see you there. Debbie Collins, Ormond, John Cook, and Riri Mingo Garaway. Edward is here with us. Edward Brooms. Kwana Mingo is here too, Dion. Ayana Baby Sandy Ford. Warren from Long Island is joining us. Warren, come in, Warren. Warren joining us from Long Island, and Ravi is there too. Andrew Griffith is there as well, and Paulette Graves. Good to have all of you in the morning program today. FYI, welcome folks. LN Austin. Shireen Hohenkirk is here too. Jennifer Griffith. We got a couple of things to get through. Good folks. We got a few things we got to get through this morning. But together we can do it. That's what I want y'all to know. Together. We shall do it. Together we can do it. We got a couple of things to get through, folks. In the morning papers, as I said, a lot of bloodletting, PPP. Quite a few things we'll be covering in the morning papers today. Quite a few things we're covering. Stay with us, folks, and help us to wade through some of these issues. Wade through some of these issues. Quite a few things we're going to be touching in the morning papers. Quite a few things we're going to be touching on. Quite a few things we're going to be touching on. And folks, as I said, Loretta Argyle and Claudine LaRose, how are you doing? Claudine, how are you, Claudine? Claudine, how are you? How are you, Claudine? Claudine, please call me. Claudine, please call me. Right? It's with the phone there. It's with the phone there. Folks, we're happy that you folks are here with us. Many places you're joining us from. We are tremendously happy. Welcome to FYI, good folks. Welcome to FYI, good folks. Claudine, like I mean now. Gail Alicop, how's New Jersey treating you, Gail? Gail, how is New Jersey treating you? We got a few things on the morning papers we got to cover, guys. A couple things, and we can start with this, the bloodletting in Linden. That's where we can start with, the bloodletting, folks, in the mining town. Why don't we start there? Welcome to FYI, folks. Wherever you're joining us from, we encourage you, share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks. And let me go down. Pull up a cup of something with us. We can be here for a couple of minutes. We're not running off to any place this morning. Yesterday morning, we were running off to gather some information from the mayor's press conference. We have no such assignment today. So you're going tired to see we face. You're going to tired to see we face. We have no such assignment today. So we're here with you guys as long as we can be here. Francis Escourse, Beatrice Selby, we see you there. Beatrice said she's dropping off the grandkids. Oh, that must be so beautiful. That must be so beautiful. So there's a lot of bloodletting, folks, in Linden. A lot of bloodletting in Linden. Right? Claudine, a lot of bloodletting. People want to know what went wrong because, they were promised. We buy out everybody in Linden. What went wrong? We can buy out everybody. We buying out everybody. So some folks scratching their head. What went wrong? Listen to some of what we are hearing out of Linden.
And trying to believe me instead of listening to me. We are investing on the wrong persons, the wrong people, and the wrong team. The team that helps you to win the general election, you don't kick them one side.
This is a PvP camp.
And just pick out a few who you think are going to do it for you and destroy the rest. And that is our mistake. And God do not like ugliness. And I will never stop saying what I'm saying. Don't you ever treat somebody that deserves love like they don't deserve it. I deserve, many other comrades deserve. But yet we come out and we work and support the team what they choose. I make sure every one of my children votes. I feed you my vote and put it up a line all over. I don't know what next to do. My comrades in Linden is doing to me what Abdul's doing to me. He might as well like turn to crime. Because there's no way else for you.
What's in them?
To do our groundwork. We need to do our groundwork.
This is PvP, folks,
I work in London like a jackass. Yeah? for Boris Johnson. Yeah, when Boris Johnson was going to be elected the second time as a mayor, he just come back. Yeah, just come back from Libya. And I tell you, the people couldn't work and they do the groundwork. But you see people like me who are being rejected for whatever. First, say, oh, gossip,
y'all hear the story here?
and create a refugee, me, and the relevant people. There's so much experience I have. There's so much. I tell them this your intention is to play the game how they know it. And we can't win them at the game.
What's another?
We can win them with is our groundwork.
We work harder.
This is a lesson to be learned.
Once you know that, you better learn properly.
Everybody knows.
You know some of you have done so.
And now we're going to see the true correcting people. They're going to feel what I went through because, let me tell you.
Morning, Sherry. Somebody tag Sherry 5 from Linden for us.
In every area, all our businesses, all our little things that we tried, they're going to turn their back, they're going to abuse us, they're going to curse us. And we sit back and we allow it. Mm-hmm. Because our leaders have one thing they had to do, is empower us. Empower the people who are trying.
So people don't empower people?
That they can have.
That's what the fella saying.
Because it's not easy for us. The way our own comrades is treating us in Linden, much less the up to people. Because our comrades spend time gossiping and pulling us down.
We coming hard for them.
And he knows it. It's all the information.
We coming hard for them, hard.
To really fight for or fight with. But we continue to fight.
Pleasant, good morning.
This is the donor. This one is the donor.
I must congratulate all the candidates and the hard working candidates that went to the rallies and so on. But as current combat power, he who hears, let him hear. And it is time for us to stand up as old comrade and let them know we have to get rid of Mr. Forsyth and a lot of them. Because if we do not get rid of Mr. Forsyth, we will continue to be failing ourselves. We need a better.
Yep. We got to get rid of Forsyth. Forsyth is the problem. We got to get rid of Forsyth. That's the PP camp. That's the bloodletting in the PvP camp. We got to get rid of Forsyth. Here's the problem. They will cross Forsyth. Somebody tag Sherry, man. Tag Forsyth. Forsyth is the bully. The PP bully that's worked with the ministry. Right? Apparently he was instrumental in their campaign, the PP campaign. That's the Forsyth. We got to get rid of Forsyth. We got to get rid of Forsyth. Here's the problem, folks. Forsyth is the problem. That's the bloodletting that's happening in the PvP camp in Linden. Right. You know, they tell us, he who the God wish to make mad, the gods wish to make mad. Get him, little pop. Yeah. So that's the bloodletting, folks. That's the bloodletting that is currently occupying the PvP camp. Right? But we can't allow that to be us. We cannot allow that to ever be us. So then Shambles, don't worry, BJ coming out and all that big fancy hocus pocus talk and kind of dancing between a lot of foolishness there. Don't bother with all of that. Don't bother with all of that. The truth will prevail. And they come and they say, oh, we want to empower you. If you are empowering your own people, if you are not empowering your own people, that's in their chats. We're in the chats, We're in the chats listening to them. And if I play some of the voice notes that BJ got, whole country broke up. If we play some of the voice notes that BJ got, whole country broke up. Whole country. Right? The whole place will shell down. The whole place would shell. Here we play some of them voice notes. So that is some voice notes in the PPP camp, in their groups. We just embracing the wall, listening in, watching on. So Foresight is the cross. Foresight is the cross there in Region 10. Right? I heard clearly, if they would empower us, and Chase Green and them think they can empower them, means to an end. You see, that is the real anatomy of the PPP. When you catch them behind the scenes, right? When you catch them behind the scenes, then you see who they really be. Then you see who they really is. Tommy Gibbs says, I hope Foresight has the foresight to see what is coming his way, and that's the axe. Them boys want to get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's the problem. Who cross? you all heard the folks on the voice note. So they got a lot of bloodletting internally. What went wrong? They were promised, if we buy out everybody, 10,000 a box of cook-up, 5,000 in a t-shirt. We got this luck. Right? We got this luck. That's what they were being told. But that's not how it come out. That's not how it come out, folks. So that's just some of what's happening in Linden. I want to play some more voice. Like I feel it can be a voice notes morning. I feel like it could be a voice notes morning. Right? I saw the chairman of Region 10, Darren Adams, put out a statement earlier. Right? He said every man jack in the PP getting boxed up this morning. Box up this morning. Every man jack in the PP getting boxed up. Based on new information reaching us, this is Darren Adams, the regional chairman of Region 10, put out this. Based on new information reaching us, this is the latest, this is the best way I can sum it up. At this stage, after the announcement was made by the returning office at Linden and Kokwali. Right? So that's the best way you can sum it up. Box up. What the hell happened here? Right? What the hell happened here? Pure box up. Just some of what we're following at that end, folks. A lot of bloodletting in Linden. They were promised one thing. Folks, don't take our word for it. Is it who has that information this morning? The Starbucks News. Just trying to remember where we saw the information. Starbucks News. Let me read Starbucks News headline for you guys. All right? Jack Leo claims massive victory in LGE. Apnew wins easily. Georgetown and Linden. Easily. Right? And they were promising to buy out everything. Right? If they buy out everything, things are going to go in their favor. It didn't happen so though. God don't like ugly. I see some of y'all see that. God don't like ugly. So they promise they can buy out everything, buy out everybody. And then whatever happened. But it didn't work so. It did not work. It didn't work like that. But good to have you here. Tommy Gibbs, Ronald, and the other folks joining us. Bernadette, Margaret, Jennifer Griffith. Good to have you guys at this morning. Share the live wherever you're coming in from this morning, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. So they're never fighting against itself, huh? If they'd only empower us. Folks, I think we have a caller on the line this morning. Somebody very special out of Region 10. Mr. Sharma Salman, do we have you on the line this morning?
Good morning, Sharon, and to your audience. Good morning to you all.
All right, Mr. Sharma, very good morning to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Sharon, and I want to return the same to you because you were very integral in helping to ensure that our message went out to not only Linden public, but to Guyana and the world at large. So thank you too, Sharon.
Folks, do let us know if you're hearing our guest this morning, Mr. Sharma Solomon, who's joining us from the mining town of Linden. Please let us know if you can hear our guest this morning, Mr. Sharma Solomon, again, who is joining us from the mining town of Linden. Mr. Sharma Solomon, what is the mood on the ground there in Linden? I saw you all had a big motorcade, among other things. What is the mood on the ground in Linden? And what would you say chiefly might be responsible for the victory?
First, the mood. The mood is one of remaining committed, remaining focused on the agenda. The agenda we have set to be very too specific, which would be ensuring the rights of citizens are respected and the things that are outlined in the Constitution are given to them, which would be leadership in the region must be a part, once identified as representative of the people, to be given access to the resources and all that is outlined for them to have. And the other thing that we want to ensure is that the cause of the people are advanced, those developmental agendas in terms of not only the infrastructure side of things, but the human development of people. So I think that is what we are focused on, and people are committed to, notwithstanding victory, notwithstanding see what could be done against a government with unlimited resources of people's will and desire to overcome that. As it relates to, that is the move. As it relates to how we intend to see the community moving forward, I believe a lot came out of the campaign of people recognizing that the People's Progressive Party have done absolutely nothing to them. And a lot of commitments were made during the campaign by the People's Progressive Party, including things such as the increase of the subvention. Now, $18 million for a council to manage the affairs of almost 40,000 residents and the size of a 6,000 square mile population, I think is highly inadequate. Now it is for us now to hold those promises to account in terms of what was made in this campaign by the People's Progressive Party. So those things we intend to, not only as it relates to advancing, ensure we hold the government account, but even to work closer with the community on many issues. We know the government is going to take offense of this. And I know the community, based on coming out of this campaign, recognizing that in proper organization and with right mobilization, we can defeat and overcome any force.
Excellent. Right? Proper organization, we can overcome any force. How are things going to progress there from this point? All right. Sharma?
Hi, Sherrod. Sorry about that.
Quite okay. Just want to get a sense from you what comes next, and you may finish the last thought you had.
Well, like I was saying before, the episodes of the campaign will remain, which is the movement towards keeping people well organized in terms of the issues affecting them, and to ensure that they're able to mobilize around those issues to get what they want. Moving forward, it is on those principles we intend to move forward on. As the council is going to be identified, it's going to be a council that is going to be very engaging with the community to ensure that it continues to organize the community, to remain very engaging on those community meetings. And I'll give you this as a public before, because it is only this morning we confirmed this. We are going to go back to every corner that we were on asking for support, starting today, to say to people our agenda, while saying to them thank you, as we organize for a massive thank you program on Sunday coming. So we are back into the streets almost immediately, just like we were doing a few weeks ago in the campaign, and we intend to continue to do that.
So that not only to keep people engaged and informed, but to keep them organized around the issues in each community that continues to affect them. So that is our agenda moving forward almost immediately, as we continue to move to organize and structure the council itself around those committees to also effectively address the administration of the municipality.
Are you envisioning, with all the promises made by this installed regime, any different stance, disposition towards the region? And this is from the standpoint, there's been a lot of blockages, you know. They didn't want this place to progress, right? And they made this huge attempt, spent millions, if not billions of dollars trying to keep this election through the back door, as against really and truly engaging in meaningful development. Do you expect anything different moving forward?
I think our only expectation, Sherrod, is one that must be built on mutual respect, to be built on equity and equality in how we are treated and given resources. That is outlined clearly in the Constitution. There is no favor in this. It is not how the government feels. It is what the government must do. And I believe on those principles, people and leadership must be prepared to hold government accountable to do those things. And those are the promises we made on the campaign: right, proper, and strong representation. It is the government that must engage in the developmental agenda of the people while consulting, having their participation, and to ensure that they are committed to those principles to have people get those things. So our expectation are those. It is not what government feel, it is what government must do. One. The other would be, how do we then understand from history of our engagement with the People's Progressive Party that what came out on the 12th of June will offend them. It offends them because we saw this coming out in 2011 when they got a minority government, and they lost because primarily Region 10 was part of that. So we were anticipating anything from this government because we know the track record of the People's Progressive Party. And immediately what came was an increased position of electricity rates in 2011. In 2012, after the 2011 minority Ramatar government. So we understand that. But our position remains a commitment to what is the rights of people. And I'll give you not only as it relates to government's developmental agenda, but government's behavior in the region, especially things such as NCN.
Talk to us.
Those things and the station policy must be addressed because it goes against the fundamental rights of citizens. And on the campaign, we put those things on the agenda.
Yeah.
So going forward, I believe that in understanding the behavior of the People's Progressive Party, we expect that they should hold themselves to the promises they made on the campaign. They said they were going to continue the bridge. They said that they were going to ensure that the Linden-Soestdijk Highway is given the attention it deserves. Those things are not new. Those things were part of the coalition program. So we expect to see them continue. We expect to see the synthetic track properly finished. We expect to see the Bamia Primary School, even though missing its deadline, which should be August this year, to complete it and complete it well. So those are not things that they have made promises we are going to be wowed by. Those are things they should complete because they were already on the agenda.
Yeah, and you know, it is within their capacity as a government with taxpayers' money, not people money, to get it done. Sharma, before I let you go, we were listening to a voice note earlier in which one of the PPP operatives there in Linden crying out that, you know, if they had only empowered us, we could have done more. Do you mean the PPP don't empower the people?
Well, I think that was so evident on our campaign, Sherrod, and I believe people recognize that. How do you then ensure good governance if you have a complete or total dominated People's Progressive Party, even at municipalities? And what candidates they were putting up would not have been able to object to anything that would not have been in the right favor of people in the communities. And I believe people recognize that. So that in itself was part of the rebellion, a totalitarian and authoritarian behavior of total domination within even municipalities. So, Sherrod, I believe what people must be very impressed by and encouraged, most importantly by, is the fact that people's power is still relevant in this country. And the resources used against the people, their own resources, even that will not stop people power.
Wow, wow. This gentleman who was alleged to have played a major role in burning down the Ministry of Health, I heard in that voice some people say, we gotta get rid of he's the problem.
Well, you know, I don't think they had a choice to share it. We set the three principal positions that PPP used to get people to follow them. Whether you're an ideologue and you went because you believe in a political position, or you just a hustler and they're fattening the pockets of friends, family, and favorite.
10,000 in a box of cocoa.
Well, the people who they were starting on those 10 days workers that they bullied at the nomination day in Linden to put on red t-shirts. After a while, when you saw the last rally of the People's Progressive Party in Linden, it was an utter embarrassment that traffic was freely flowing through it because it could not have been sustained. It was a facade and an optical illusion that was put forward on nominations day. And I know the country felt it. So when those characters came around, those who were ideologues around the party were pushed aside, and it's now creating some level of dissatisfaction among the People's Progressive Party members in the region because of that tactic that was used only to create that optical illusion. Not only that offended their own party comrades, but it offended the wider community because people knew who they were seeing. They knew who the PPP Progressive Party was associating with. And they knew how offensive it was to try to project that sort of position on the people in this community.
Correct is right. Correct is right. Sharma, before we let you go, is there anything else you want to share with us?
Just to say again, Sherrod, thanks. I don't believe many people recognize in this community how difficult it is to nationalize a message because of the oppression of the People's Progressive Party in the government in this one TV station policy and the denial of access to information. So to you and all those who ensure that the message went out on our campaign, and to those people who had the time to listen, to share, to sympathize and to empathize with what we go through in Linden, we want to say from the depths, we sincerely thank you all, and to say that the work has just begun because we see the track record of this government. And we hope that that support remains, but our level of organization and mobilization going forward must be very sharp, and we intend to keep it that way, Sharon.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Thank you for stopping by this morning.
You have a blessed one, too.
All right. Folks, on the line there was Sharma Rahim Solomon out of the mining town of Linden. That was Sharma joining us from that end. What a privilege it was to have this gentleman who is possibly the next mayor of Linden. I don't know who's the next mayor of Linden, and what a fantastic job. I'm certain, I am very certain, Mr. Solomon would do it. We've been talking about the bloodletting, folks, in the PPP. And then we got in there. I don't know if we can get you all the information we need to cover this morning. And my apologies up front if we don't. I don't know if we can get through it, all of it. Because in there's bullyism was on full display, they tell us, on the West Coast. When he went into that polling station, they tell us that he had no authority, he had no identification, no permission from GCOM. They believe because there's a minister that can do anything, And then he made it, no, you can't do me nothing. You can't do me nothing. That was some of the bullyism on full display. I think that was a polling station at Denham Cell. The staff were simply saying, we have rules we have to follow. You can come beyond the, whatever is the border, into the sanctity of the polling station if you have the authorification. As I heard once somebody said. If you have the requisite permission from GCOM and you present it, no, but since you shop as minister, you must be allowed to fetch out ballot boxes. And the staff were simply telling him, that is not how it works. That is not how it works. But he didn't like that. He didn't like that and sought to abuse the staff. Right? Well, you could do me. Well, that's not the way to operate. Certainly not the way to operate. Take a look. So that is some of what took place in that Denham Cell police station. And for the benefit of the PPP supporters who might be watching us and listening to us, because they come often and all are welcome. You know, all are welcome on our broadcast. And we don't block people. Like it takes something very egregious for people to do for us to block. We don't get time with them foolishness. Right? We want to hear from you. We want you all to hear from us too. An important part of the democratic ethos is hearing the other side. Right? Audi alteram partem, I think is the Latin phrase in law. Hear the other side. Now, this is Starbuck News. That's the point I want to make. This is Starbuck News reporting on this incident. Starbuck News reporting on this incident. Junior Public Works Minister Deodat Indar found himself at the center of a controversy after a video of him embroiled in a confrontation at the Denham Cell West Coast Demar polling station on Monday surfaced on social media. The incident raised concerns about the behavior of the minister and his approach to GCOM staff at the polling place, at the polling station. You don't hear Bart reprimand him, no way. Right? Because in the PPP, the worse you are, the more welcome you are. The contents of the disagreement, according to Starbuck News, at this time are unknown, but he has been heavily criticized by members of the public for his boorish and uncivil behavior. Boorish and uncivil behavior. The video footage captured an argument between the minister and the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM polling day staff when he made a visit to the polling station. It is unclear whether the incident occurred during the day or the night when ballots were being counted. From the video, the minister, who was party agent, attempted to enter the polling station but was prevented from doing so by GCOM staff, citing procedural reasons. He didn't have the authority to enter the station. And definitely because as a minister, you heard him several times. You can't do me nothing. You can't do me nothing, my God. I thought the greatest among us was supposed to be the servant. But this is how they say they care. We care. Right? And then when you see them, the real people is animals. When you see the real people, You're dealing with, it's nothing but animals. Boorish. B-O-O-R-I-S-H is how Sabbath News put it. Boorish and uncivil behavior. Right? Behaving like a wild hog. Behaving like a wild hog. Jagabatical, trench crapoan behavior. Yep. Take another look at that. Boorish. Uncivil.
No, you were downstairs. I should hold on. She's lying. You see, she's a liar.
Boorish and uncivil. And that's according to Sabbath News. Boorish and uncivil behavior. I'm so ashamed of Indar. So ashamed. Not that I was ever proud of him. So ashamed of Dedan Indar's behavior. He believed because he owned that 50-acre mansion that the built since the coming office, he could talk to people anyhow. He believed so because he built a big mansion. People said the house is big, he got a golf cart. He and Thief living inside it. Right? It's amazing. Quite like Irfan just get minister work. He owned half of Iflat estate. Big mansion. Big pool house. Big pool. 2 years as minister. Did that just come in? Big lavish spread. Right? Big lavish spread. They said he house a big over. Said back, Jag, your house look like the guard hut. I know Jag, your house big. Folks, boorish and uncivil behavior. That's what they call it. That's Sabbath News. We didn't tell a lie on them. Boorish and uncivil. Yeah. Boorish. B-O-O-R-I-S-H. We can add that to our dictionary this morning. Boorish and uncivil. One of the best meals we've had in a long time. She's really got nothing funny. Right. I like how the electorate rejected Chase Green, rejected her, dismissed her like nothing. Move on the way, man. Go about your business. What a failure. Party me to pat. Rejected again. Put you on some board some way to live out the rest of your political life in obscurity. Some back office licking stamp, put it on some envelope. Rejected Songli. He may say, I ain't done. He may say, a young man. Got a lot of vigor and vitality, a lot more to give. He said, I ain't done. This is not the end of my political career. I think were his exact words. I ain't done. That's what he said. Called the press conference yesterday. That's why we sped up the program to make sure we covered some of that. Folks, it's a labor of love. And you all heard Sharman Solomon said it. You know, we don't like to toot our own horn, but we do what we got to do because it's got to be done. He's got to be, we sitting around saying, oh, no, I didn't pay me no mind. He looking at, we just getting done. And so our mission is to amplify voices, right? Amplify voices. Now, look story. You heard Chairman Solomon said they can't get an NCN in Linden. They can't get an NCN right now. I showed NCN on air on Facebook. They ain't got 200 people watching them. We got close to 2,000 people watching us. Close to 2,000, 1,900 and something watching us. Right? Garden like ugly. And we believe we have an opportunity to amplify voices. And this is what you help us to do when you partner with us. That's where we get up and we go on the ground to see what's happening in Kokwani, where your boy went last week. Because of your efforts. You think we sit down here, we driving fancy car and, building house, and we're not scams here. Right? You empower us. And this is how we go. We empower others by amplifying their voices. And you could know what is happening in this country because you ain't gonna see it on NCN. And the room, the goddamn stale news, you ain't gonna see it there. And the Chronicle and so on, you ain't gonna see it there. We have a passion for doing this. Right? I went to the mayor's press conference yesterday. I didn't see half of them boys. I was listening to the leader of the opposition's press conference yesterday as well. I was listening to it, and I heard somebody from newsroom ask a question. That's the first time I have heard somebody from newsroom show up for press conference number one, the leader of the opposition, and ask a question number two. Right? Young lady is a beautiful young lady, Bashani Ragabir, very beautiful, nice spirit. I think she can go far if she dedicates herself to journalism and not propaganda. Don't got it place. But I think if this particular young lady dedicates herself, she can go far. Bashani Ragabir, young and upcoming, she could be a big player in not only journalism locally, but I think she has a potential for a kind of regional, international reach if she applies herself. But this is the first time. That's the real point I want to make. That's the real point I want to make. We ain't playing around this, folks. We ain't playing around this. Your boy went UG to study communication. I ain't just drop out this guy and grab a mic and say, I want to talk something. I know what I'm doing. Study it and practice it. I'm beating them every day with the numbers. Beating them every day with the numbers. Could we talk a little bit about that? We have the highest live show audience numbers nationally in this country. Could I toot we hand a little bit because of you? And I've been looking around the Caribbean to see some of their live programs. I don't see nobody beating our numbers. Morning, noon, and night. Y'all out here bracing we. And that is because of you. When you partner with our program, when you give, when you support us financially, you help us to pick up, go to Kokwani, pick up, go to Madia, pick up, go to Linden, go after the information. We sit down here waiting to see something on Facebook and say, hey. And that is how lots of our journalists are lazy, That's why they go in BJ press conference and then go with nothing. Then do no homework before they go to the press conference. So they have nothing to ask. How come Isabel Young from Vice News came here and knew all that she knew? She did homework. As a journalist, you got to do some homework. You got to move beyond, in journalism, they say a story got to get who, where, what, when. But that's the basics. You got to move beyond that. In this fourth estate, we got to move beyond that in journalism. Who, what, where, when. You come to a press conference, somebody talk for a whole hour, y'all carry less than 30 seconds. Y'all wicked. Wicked. 1 whole hour. Y'all carry 30 seconds and say, hey, that can't be journalism. No backstory, no side story, no front story. Who, what, where, when. But that was an aside, right? Them boys wicked. They thought they could lock the opposition out of media. And look how God like ugly. They got Chronicle, they got the Room with the State News, they got DPI, whoever else they got. You know, that titled paper, newspaper, the Times. They got all of them. And they got ministers who got programs on social media now. Because they see the numbers we attract, they think they can replicate it. So they abandon all of them. And lots of those entities have a social media presence. They abandon all of that. I watch Suzanne come out trying to do social media. I laugh at she every day. Laugh at she. Sanjeev and the rest of them. Suddenly, they discover social media. They want to get social media shows too. Locked us out of NCN. Locked us out of lots of other places. You call on them. They don't show up to press conference. They got a proper question to ask. They're interrogating the issues. They're doing no investigative journalism. They're doing no proprietary work. Nothing. They just come. Right? We got to pursue the truth wherever it leads. And folks, I tell you, it's just a start. We're building this thing into a credible organization. Building it. And that's what you're going to help us to do. Right? That's what you guys are going to help us to do. That's what you're going to help us to do. I heard an African adage before I head off in another direction that says, until the lions have their own historians, the tale of the hunt can always favor the hunter. It might take some time to understand it. One day, a year, 10 years from now, hope it's not so long, you'll say, oh, that's what he meant. Until the lions have their own historians, the tale of the hunt will always favor the hunter. Right? So we got to amplify our own voices, and that is what we are committed to do. Right? Not a cent from what people support us with goes to me personally, and I'm proud of that. Not a cent. But it all goes to building. I want you all to see us clearly. I want you all to hear us clearly. I could pull together any old thing and say, we have a program, right? Bring myself out here looking like a bird nest. But I respect you, and I respect what we do. So we don't come out here looking anyhow. We can come out here for credible, valid information. As y'all buy earphones say, when you want gaff, you know where to go. With the boredness types of the world, empty heads. Right? Empty heads. Run into a microphone by accident and get lashed in the head. That's why you hear all this stupidness coming out. Right? I and folks who help us and support us dedicated ourselves to study the craft of journalism. We run into a mic and get blackout. And wake up this it's right there. Abusing down and cussing down people. And so we are strong that the thing got to look a certain way. You know, we want a professional operation. That's what we try to do every day. Professionalize it. We can just crawl out of bed, dribble running down your face, and we just shop. Scatterbrain is right there this morning. Right? We comport ourselves because we respect what we do on your behalf. That was the aside. So the mayor had a press conference yesterday, and we wanted to cover that. Why? Because we know how much valid and credible information means to you folks. We know how much it means to you folks. Mayor said, I ain't done. He said, I am done. Take a look.
Today, I just like to bring the public attention that on the transition of the mayor's office is ready. Everything is prepared for the new mayor to take over the city of Georgetown. Everything is already set so that transition can take place very smoothly. The transition of the mayor's office will include policies what the mayor and city council had passed over the 5 years, and other documentation which I will hand over to the next mayor of the city of Georgetown. I want to sincere thank all the citizens of Georgetown, all the activists who came out and voted resoundingly for the APNU. The opposition is strong. The mayor and councillors of the opposition is strong. And I fear nothing. And that's why I can come out like that and talk. I never take a dime from no one, and I don't want it. It will not make me better. I'm here to serve the people. I'm here to uphold the oath I took for office. And I will do so until my last day of office. They make mention on NIS we owe and all these things. Those things were since 1992. I was 3 years old. And I have to be dealing with that here. When I took office, NIS was 500 and something million owed to NIS since 1992. It is 300 and something million now. It is paying. When I took office, credit union was over 100 and something million. The staff can benefit from credit union now. When I took office, the garbage contract was 35 million a month. I negotiated that contract and bring it down to 15 million. Then we bid and it was 13 million a month. This council had worked for the interest of both administration and the citizen of the city. We did not sit down here. The kind of corruption that we inherited from the former mayor. I guess she was green. Now she red. Probably this morning she blue. Right? They don't have any kind of weight. They don't have any kind of weight in the city. They have done nothing for the citizen of Georgetown. I heard, I don't know how the media didn't get this. I went on a 2-month vacation. I went on conferences, different conferences in Denver, in Kenya, in Qatar, in South Korea. I've met different leaders. I received an International Peace Award from South Korea. I didn't see the media carry this. And I want to make it very clear, not a dime was taken from the city council for those trips. Like the former mayor. Not a dime was taken from the city council. The IDB and the international bodies sponsored those trips. And that is to show you leadership quality. So I want to remind the PPP that not a dime was taken from the municipality of Georgetown. I returned to this country, and you can imagine the town clerk sees the vehicle until now. I did not receive the vehicle. I was using a taxi, but I couldn't afford to pay the taxi anymore. So I decided to drive my Y vehicle this morning to come to work. Right? I'm leaving the office even without a vehicle. Right? So what I'm saying to you, and then the same coming back to the Minister of Local Government, accused me that I went behind doors and asked a concession. I write him from the office of the mayor on the mayor's letterhead. And I said, look, this is our entitlement. What is entitled to you, you should be given. But they victimize myself and the deputy mayor not to give us our concession, the same way the PUP victimized the city of Georgetown for decades, and they will continue to victimize Georgetown. They will continue to victimize Georgetown. But this wouldn't be the end of Obraj and Arain. I want the PUP to know that. This wouldn't be the end of my political career. I will be on the ground to serve my people, to help them. I heard they want to arrest me. I have no problem. You can pull me before the court again because they arrest me. They put all the charges there. Myself and the former deputy mayor, Mr. Duncan. And now, nothing comes out of the case. We still run into court every month. This magistrate pass it to that magistrate. This magistrate said they wouldn't deal with it because they know the mayor. It is there now, I believe, to reassign again to a magistrate. I want the PUP to know that not every day will be goodwill in your book. Your lies, your fraud will be exposed every day. Every day. I accept, yes, PUP get some seat in some areas, especially Georgetown and so on. But that to tell us we have to work hard as oppositions. That to tell us we have to work hard, and we will do so. There are a lot of young MPs, and I'm joining them as well. And we will take the road. We will take the ground. Today.
So that's some of what the mayor said during his press conference yesterday. And before we guys let you go, let's just show you some of the other things we wanted to share with you this morning, but we wouldn't have enough time to go through all of it in depth with you. But some of the things we were tracking internationally. In Russia, they say that this fellow now more famous than Putin. This is the guy who heads that mercenary group. They call, what's the name of it, guys? You might know it better than I do. Let me see if you know your political stuff. What's the name of that group? That's the Wagner Group, right? This is the gentleman who heads that group and does some of the fighting on Russia's behalf in the Ukraine. They said he's now more popular than Mr. Putin himself. More popular than Putin himself. Some will be falling on that front. The Lebanese parliament can't seem to elect a president. They've been trying 12 times already. They have a political vacuum right now in the country. And Hezbollah, who is part of their political system, they pulled out of some of the talks in the last minute and threw a wrench in the works of the last attempt that they had. 12 times they're trying to elect a president through their parliamentary system. In Lebanon, we're keeping track on that as well, folks. And then they're telling us off of the Greek coast, the Grecian coast, they're telling us the deadliest migrant shipwreck thus far. Dozens of persons drowned. People just trying to make a better way of life for themselves and family, you know, and they take all of these risks. Dozens of persons drowned off the Greek shores there. Yeah, that's what they're telling us. Regionally, folks, some of the stuff that we want to share with you this morning. Haiti, some of the Haitian leaders are meeting in Jamaica, trying to find a way forward through some of the issues happening there in Haiti. You know, the gangs now have an upper hand, and since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, the country has been plunged into chaos. The leaders are meeting in Jamaica, trying to come up with a workable plan to move the country forward. Finally, CARICOM. Finally, you know, Trinidad is going to the local government polls, I think, on the 15th of August. Trinidad going to the local government polls, apologies. And the Trinidadian leader of the opposition, former Prime Minister Kamala Persaud-Bissessar, says they're foreseeing victory there, and then it's going to be on to the general elections from that point. We wish them the best. That's what's happening there, folks, in Trinidad. And as we circle back to where we are in the 592, good folks, congratulations are in order to Alia Gafour. Alia Gafour, this is granddaughter of the famous Gafoor family, Satar and Amina Gafoor. She's of that family, the granddaughter. She's doing well in French, top Cape for French, and I think another foreign language. I wish I learned. I wish I was exposed to a foreign language besides Creole earlier in life. When you get too old, your brain hard to make sense of all of the rudiments of the language. But they're telling us that this young lady is brilliant in this regard, and she's done well for her country and recently received top honors overseas. Yeah. I admire people who are linguistically inclined like that, who know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. People know up to 6, 7, 8 foreign languages. Good for her. Pace and power to Alia Gafoor. And then finally, folks, the Chief Justice is going to be ruling in this Ipadaji case very, very soon. The government, wicked, vindictive, and racist as they are cut the funding for Ipadaji. This is the UN hub here of people, the decade of people of African descent, international decade of people of African descent, and the advice funding and through Ipadaji, other groups and individuals are empowered during this decade to be all that they can be. But since them boys coming to cut the funding, right? Chief Justice has given them some scope for mediation, to meet and to iron out differences. But people don't want to work with nobody. They don't want to work with nobody. So the case is back at the High Court, and the Chief Justice is going to pronounce on that quite soon. Those are some of the things we're following this morning. That's it for us at this end, folks. That's our time, and that's our program. We know some of you folks are running off to other assignment, other things as the day unfolds. And we want to thank you guys for joining us this morning. That's going to do it for us at this end, folks. Stay safe until our next broadcast. Respect and manners, folks. Stay safe. Stay safe. Good to see you, Penny John, Ethelene Peters, and GT Rule Girl. How you doing? I ain't see you for a little bit. I hope you are well. Miss Cummins, we see you there too. Diane Primo and Out Front Potts. How you doing? I ain't see you a little bit too. Margaret and Glenn Ford and Osmond Hodge. Bernice Bristol. Michelle McKay. Michelle, how you doing? Good to see you, folks. Don't forget, share the live for us. Smash that emoji button. Partner with us as well so we can keep on doing what we need to do around these parts. Thanks for joining us. That's my time this morning, and that's the program. Will Felix, come on. We see you there. It's Michelle Salmon. We see you as well. Tony Hack, Faye. We see you. Fennell. We see you as well. Stay safe, folks. That's our